It has now been more than 6 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United and retired from professional football management, bringing the curtain down on arguably the finest managerial career in the sport's history. Manchester United won the Premier League title in Ferguson's final campaign in charge of the club, the 2012-13 season, which was the 13th Premier League title of Ferguson's tenure. Manchester United never finished below third place in Ferguson's last 22 seasons in charge of the club, and they won the league by 11 points in the 2012-13 season. In the 6 seasons since then, the Red Devils have had 4 different managers, have failed to win a single Premier League title, and have only finished in the top 4 twice. Recruitment has been a major gripe among United fans during this difficult post-Fergie period, and a few months ago, I did a video on the club's 7 worst post-Fergie signings. There were lots of requests in the comments on that video for a much larger video looking at every one of United's post-Fergie signings. I wanted to leave a bit of a gap between the two. Today is the day though, and here are all 37 of Manchester United's post-Fergie signings. Where are they now? PS, in the interest of completeness, we will be including loan deals as well. Guillermo Varela, FC Copenhagen. Manchester United's first signing of the post-Ferguson era, obviously, how could anyone forget, was Uruguayan right-back Guillermo Varela. Brought in from Uruguayan giants Penarol for €2.8 million, Varela could never establish himself at Old Trafford, making just 11 appearances in 4 seasons. That was a shame for United, with right-back having been a real problem position for the club since Ferguson retired. Varela returned to Penarol in 2017, but joined Danish Super League outfit FC Copenhagen in December 2018. Marouane Fellaini, Shandong Luneng. In many ways the worst post-Ferguson signing Manchester United made, whilst Marouane Fellaini always gave 100% at Old Trafford and made some telling contributions during his 5.5 years at the club, his signing had so many negative connotations. It seemed panicked and last minute, which was the opposite of how United conducted their transfer business under Ferguson, and Fellaini's style of play suggested a more direct approach was on its way at Old Trafford. Some would say Fellaini was a great plan B who gave a lot to Manchester United. Personally, I think that signing was the beginning of the end, and it was only the second signing of the post-Ferguson era. Saidy Yanko, Young Boys. Another right-back, Saidy Yanko joined Manchester United from FC Zurich as a teenager under David Moyes. He left for Celtic a year later, having never played a league game for the club, and having spent last season back in England on loan at Nottingham Forest, he will spend next season on loan at Young Boys back in his native Switzerland. Porto are his parent club. Juan Mata, Manchester United. Juan Mata had 2 absolutely sensational seasons at Chelsea in 2011-12 and 2012-13, picking up the Chelsea Player of the Year and Players Player of the Year awards as the club won the Champions League, the Europa League, and the FA Cup in that time. Then came the return of Jose Mourinho, who didn't fancy the Spaniard though, and after 6 months in and out of the team, Mata made a £37.1 million move to Manchester United. A fantastic character, and obviously a talented footballer, Mata hasn't been able to hit his 2011 to 2013 heights at Old Trafford, but he has played over 200 games and shown glimpses of class for the club. He recently signed a new 2-year contract extension with the Red Devils. Ander Herrera, PSG. One of Manchester United's better post-Ferguson signings, the club just lost the 29-year-old Spaniard on a free transfer to PSG, having failed to agree terms with Herrera for a new deal following his £28.85 million arrival from Athletic Bilbao in 2014. A tough, tenacious and hard-working central midfielder who is good on the ball and neat in the pass, Herrera made 189 appearances for United during his 5 seasons with the club. Luke Shaw, Manchester United. The earliest of Manchester United's 37 post-Fergie signings still at the club, the odds of that remaining the case, have often looked doubtful during Shaw's 5 years with the club. He became the most expensive teenager in the world when United signed him for £30 million in 2014, but he looked a class act up until a devastating double leg fracture in September 2015. Shaw has had fitness and injury troubles in the near 4 years since then, as well as having had an equally fractured relationship with former boss Jose Mourinho. He's likely to be a regular fixture under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next season though, and some have even put his name forward as United's potential next captain following Antonio Valencia's departure. Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, Standard Liège. 6'8" Serbian giant Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who is the brother of Lazio star Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, joined Manchester United as a youngster in 2014, but was released by the club in November 2015, having failed to be awarded a UK work permit. He has been contracted to Torino since 2017, but spent most of his time with the club out on loan. Milinkovic-Savic will spend next season on loan at Standard Liège in Belgium. Marcus Rojo, Manchester United. Marcus Rojo is still with Manchester United at the time of this recording, but with the club apparently looking to sell him for £25 million this summer, it is possible they could have been sold by the time this video comes out. The Argentine international joined United from Sporting Club de Portugal for £16 million in 2014, and although he has played 113 games for the club, only 6 of those appearances came last season. Angel Di Maria, PSG. Manchester United's record signing back in 2014, and still one of their most expensive signings now, Angel Di Maria joined the club for just under £60 million 5 years ago. That was off the back of an inspired 12 months with both Real Madrid and Argentina, and I must admit, I thought Di Maria looked like an excellent addition. He did play well in his debut campaign in fairness, registering I think it was 12 assists, but he wasn't winning games single-handedly as United had seemingly hoped. He left for PSG in a deal worth £44 million after just a single season, and the 2014 World Cup finalist is still starring for the Parisians now. Daley Blind, Ajax. A versatile and intelligent footballer, Louis van Gaal brought Daley Blind to Manchester United off the back of the Ajax Stars performances for him at left wing back in the 2014 World Cup. Following 141 appearances in 4 seasons, Blind returned to Ajax last summer, where he just had a brilliant season and even scored a hat-trick whilst playing as a centre-back. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Manchester United. Dutch, versatile and formerly of Ajax, there's a lot that Timothy Fosu-Mensah has in common with Daley Blind. The 21-year-old has gone out on loan to Crystal Palace and Fulham in each of the last 2 seasons, but held in high regard at Old Trafford, some suspect he may play a part under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next season. Victor Valdés, Moratala's manager. Brilliant for Barcelona but only ever likely to be a backup to David De Gea at Old Trafford, Victor Valdés' short stint at Old Trafford proved to be a bit of a disaster. He left the club after a string of disputes with Louis van Gaal in 2016, spending his final season in 2016-17 with Middlesbrough. The 37-year-old now manages Moratales in the 5th tier of Spanish football. Sadiq El Fatouri, free agent. Libyan international right-back Sadiq El Fatouri was signed by Manchester United from Salford City on the recommendations of Phil Neville and Paul Scholes to Warren Joyce. El Fatouri never played for United, departing after 2 years with the club. He has since played in League One, Libya and Romania, but now looks to have been unattached for more than 12 months. Radamel Falcao, Monaco. The first loan signing in this video, Radamel Falcao, was a costly but exciting looking addition by Manchester United. The Red Devils paid a £6 million loan fee, in addition to £265,000 a week, in order to borrow Falcao for a season. Still recovering from an ACL injury though, Falcao scored just 4 goals in 29 games, and he followed that up with an even more underwhelming season on loan at Chelsea. Now aged 33 and still contracted to Monaco, Falcao has bounced back over the last 3 seasons, scoring 70 goals in 118 games. Andy Kellett, Notts County. The second and indeed the last loan signing in this video, the signing of Andy Kellett on a half-season loan from Bolton Wanderers, is surely the strangest post-Fergie signing Manchester United have made. Kellett reportedly thought it was a joke when his Bolton boss Neil Lennon told him of United's interest, and understandably so, since he wasn't even starting games for Bolton at the time. Kellett made 10 appearances for United's under-21s, but joined Wigan Athletic the following summer. He joined Notts County last summer and was relegated with the Magpies in his debut campaign. Memphis Depay, Lyon. A much anticipated arrival, only Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo reportedly sold more shirts than Memphis Depay in the summer of 2015, when he joined Manchester United from PSV for £25 million. He followed in the footsteps of Jaap Stam and Ruud van Nistelrooy in joining United from PSV, and the likes of George Best and Cristiano Ronaldo in inheriting the number 7 shirt at the club, but he couldn't emulate the success of such esteemed greats at the Theatre of Dreams. In 53 appearances, Depay never showed more than flashes of his obvious talents, departing for Lyon after just over a season. Depay has impressed in France, but hasn't yet shown enough consistency to convince United into triggering its buyback clause or prompting any other top clubs into launching a bid for him. Matteo Darmian, Manchester United. Yes, Matteo Darmian is still at Manchester United, although you could be forgiven for having forgotten that is the case. The Italian international joined United from Torino in 2015, but he has managed just 60 Premier League appearances over 4 seasons at a club without a recognised right back. The Red Devils would no doubt love to move him on this summer, but he's still a Manchester United player at the time of this recording at least. Bastian Schweinsteiger, Chicago Fire. I suspect a lot of people think Bastian Schweinsteiger is older than he really is, the 2014 World Cup winner, having spent more than 2 years in the MLS now, but still aged only 34. A legend of both Bayern Munich and the German national team, Schweinsteiger joined United in 2015, but whilst he would endear himself to the club's fans, he had an awful relationship with Jose Mourinho. He left in March 2017 for Chicago Fire, where he now plays as a centre-back. Morgan Schneiderlin, Everton. The only good thing about Manchester United signing of Morgan Schneiderlin was the fact that they had the sense to get out early, selling him for only a nominal loss to Everton after a mediocre 12 months at Old Trafford. Following a really positive first 6 months with the Toffees, Schneiderlin has looked way off the pace for the last 2 seasons at Goodison Park, and Marco Silva probably goes to bed praying an unnamed Chinese club will sign him this summer. Sergio Romero, Manchester United. At the age of 32, Sergio Romero has won 96 caps for Argentina despite having made a total of just 176 league appearances throughout his entire club career. In the last 6 seasons, 4 of which have been spent at Old Trafford, Romero has played just 20 league games. Having said that, he is a very capable goalkeeper and there are few teams with more accomplished number 2s than Romero. Anthony Martial, Manchester United. The signing of Anthony Martial for £36 million, potentially rising to £58 million, made the Frenchman the most expensive teenager in the world at the time, overtaking fellow United recruit Luke Shaw. Nevertheless, Martial handled the early pressure and 17 goals made him the club's top scorer in his debut campaign. Incredibly, now aged 23, Martial hasn't had a better season than that 2015-16 one. There's still a feeling among Manchester United fans that if he is made a regular fixture, Martial can be one of the outstanding players in the division, and it'll be interesting to see how much faith Ole Gunnar Solskjaer puts in him next season. Regan Poole, MK Dons. A rather less eye-catching addition in comparison to Martial, 17-year-old Regan Poole joined United from Newport County for an initial £100,000 in the summer of 2015. Poole spent 4 years at Old Trafford, during which time he made just 1 senior appearance, coming on as a substitute in the Europa League. He left United to join MK Dons this summer. Eric Bailly, Manchester United. Having flung from defensive cataclysm to defensive cataclysm since Sir Alex Ferguson's departure, Manchester United have really struggled to find a settled and solid centre-back partnership for the last 6 years. Eric Bailly looked like a surefire starter following his £30 million arrival from Villarreal before picking up a serious knee injury just 4 months into his time at Old Trafford. The Ivorian has never really returned to those pre-injury levels of assertiveness and consistency, but United fans will be optimistic he can do just that next season with a full pre-season under his belt and hopefully no more injury struggles. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, LA Galaxy. Short and sweet is probably the best way of describing Zlatan Ibrahimovic's time at Manchester United. The ostentatious Swede backed up his bravado with 28 goals in 46 games in his debut campaign, which was cut short towards the end of April. He returned the following season, but only briefly, making a somewhat inevitable move to the MLS in March 2018. In the 16 months since, Zlatan has been absolutely superb, and he has scored 13 goals in 15 games so far this season. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Arsenal. Another signing that made sense on paper but didn't really work out on the pitch, Henrik Mkhitaryan was fantastic for both Shakhtar Donetsk and Borussia Dortmund prior to his £30 million transfer to United in the summer of 2016. Barring an extraordinary scorpion kick goal against Sunderland, Mkhitaryan struggled to find his best form in a United shirt before joining Arsenal as Alexis Sanchez headed in the opposite direction. It's been a similar story in North London for the Armenian, who is obviously incredibly talented but just can't quite fully click into gear in the English game. Paul Pogba, Manchester United. Manchester United's record signing and the world's most expensive footballer when he returned to Old Trafford in 2016, Paul Pogba, cost the Red Devils a whopping £89 million. The fee was particularly grating in some respects since Pogba came through the youth ranks at Old Trafford and had left the club for next to nothing in 2012. In many ways, Pogba has never really been able to shake off his price tag, with people expecting him to control and win games single-handedly on a routine basis. He has put in some excellent and some not so excellent performances for United, and rumours persist that he could leave the club this summer. Victor Lindelof, Manchester United. I'll start to speed up a little here, partly because this video is getting pretty lengthy, and partly because a lot of the upcoming players featured are still at Manchester United, having only recently joined the club. Victor Lindelof joined United from Benfica in the summer of 2017, and after a shaky debut campaign, he was the club's best centre-back last season. Romelu Lukaku, Manchester United. Brought to the club for £75 million from Everton, Belgium's all-time leading goalscorer Romelu Lukaku scored 27 goals in his debut campaign at Old Trafford. That tally dropped to 15 last season, with just 12 coming in the league, and the 26-year-old has been heavily linked with a move to Inter Milan this summer. Nemanja Matic, Manchester United. He may only be 30, but Nemanja Matic almost looks past it at the highest level already. Once a powerful and dynamic midfield enforcer, he now often looks like a slow and sluggish passenger in the middle of the park. Manchester United paid £40 million to sign him in 2017, with many hailing it as a masterstroke. I wasn't so sure, and on this very rare occasion at least, I appear to have been proven right. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, LA Galaxy. Technically, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has to feature twice in this video since his first Manchester United contract ended, and then he rejoined the club, but I won't dwell on the big Swede for too long since we already know what he's up to now. Alexis Sanchez, Manchester United. Chile's all-time record appearance holder and all-time record goal scorer Alexis Sanchez was always brilliant before signing for Manchester United. A quick-footed and explosive forward with a terrific work ethic and an eye for goal, he bagged 30 goals in his last full season at Arsenal, a campaign in which he was at least one of the top 3 players in the Premier League. His move to Manchester United reportedly saw him handed a £600,000 a week contract and a £20 million sign-on fee that made him the best paid player in the division, and since then, Sanchez has been unbelievably ineffective. For such a tenacious footballer, his Manchester United career has really just lacked any kind of vibrancy or excitement, but he does remain with the club right now. Diogo Dalot, Manchester United. Diogo Dalot cost Manchester United £19 million from Porto last summer, but it's hard to see him getting much game time next season following the arrival of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Fred, Manchester United. It's still very early days, and the Brazilian did show signs of improvement in the first couple of months of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure last season, but as of yet, I think it would be fair to say Fred hasn't really looked like a £52 million footballer. Lee Grant, Manchester United. Spare your mocking for now, Lee Grant is actually a very decent goalkeeper, and Manchester United could do a lot worse when it comes to a third choice who is likely to play about as many games for them next season as I am. Daniel James, Manchester United. Hull-born 21-year-old Dan James was the first player to join Manchester United this summer, the pacey wide man arriving for £15 million from Swansea City. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Manchester United. Well, I got slated for calling Aaron Wan-Bissaka the 7th best right-back in the world last season, but he is now the joint most expensive. Also aged 21, the uncapped Crystal Palace star joined United for a reported £50 million off the back of a tremendous season at Selhurst Park. Harry Maguire, Manchester United. Okay, so this hasn't actually happened yet at the time of recording, but I suspect it will have gone through by the time this video comes out. Harry Maguire's heavily linked move to Manchester United could potentially make him the most expensive centre-back of all time, reportedly set to join the Red Devils for an initial £60 million and a potential £80 million. That's it for today's video. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Since you've got this far and in exchange for eternal good luck and happiness, why not subscribe and turn on notifications for the ever-brilliant HITC Sevens. Also, for mobile users, if you click on your screen now there should be some suggestions of other videos YouTube thinks you might like, and I agree with YouTube. If you're watching on desktop, they should appear of their own accord. Thank you all for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a brilliant day.